I know that a lot of y'all out here are probably just holding on to friendships because you don't want to feel lonely. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to go to that party by yourself. You don't want to go out to eat by yourself. But let me tell you something. It is okay. It is fine to be alone. It's fine to spend time alone, okay? You do not need a friend. Yes, a friendship is a beautiful thing. It is beautiful. But it is better to be by yourself rather than keeping a bunch of fake people in your corner, okay? To me, a friendship is also someone who supports me and vice versa. Kind of sit back and ask yourself, do my friends really support me? I'm talking about support as in going above and beyond to support you without you having to ask. Even if they don't too much promote it, they support you behind closed doors. Do you really have friends who you can actually have a real conversation with? I'm talking about a real bond and friends who you don't just sit there and gossip with or talk about social media stuff with, or friends you just don't party with, friends who just don't sit there and just be in drama and talk about drama all the time. Do you actually have friends who you can have real conversations with? Make sure you don't have friends who you may, argue with from time to time and they go to social media about it. That's not cool. If you have a disagreement, a falling out, or argument with a friend, it should never hit social media. I don't care if it's just a subliminal post and no one else knows that the post is about you except for you. It's not right. Hey y'all, it's Sanala and I'm back with another video. So today I will be telling y'all how to reevaluate your friendships. Okay, I know that there is a lot of y'all out there who has these different friend groups and just these different people that you hang out with, but this video is gonna help you to kind of take a few steps back and actually think like, are all of these people in my life actually serving a purpose, or are they just here? So first of all, I'm gonna kind of define my version of a friendship, okay? I do not have many friends at all. I do not have many people who I consider as a friend. A friend is not a term that I throw around lightly at all, okay? I may have people that I conversate with, people that I hang with, people who I may, just talk to from time to time, but that does not make them my friend at all, okay? To me, a friendship is all about loyalty, okay? Loyalty, support, someone who can push me to succeed and vice versa, or ride or die, someone who I can trust, and it is super duper hard to trust people nowadays. If I consider you as a friend, I have to fully be able to trust you. I don't want to be feeling like you doing anything sneaky behind my back or plotting against me, type of jealous behavior. No, none of that. A friendship is not nothing that should be thrown around lightly at all. Well, that's something that I don't throw around lightly. And another thing, I know that a lot of y'all out here are probably just holding on to friendships because you don't want to feel lonely. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to go to that party by yourself. You don't want to go out to eat by yourself. But let me tell you something. It is okay. It is fine to be alone. It's fine to spend time alone, okay? You do not need a friend. Friendship is a beautiful thing. It is beautiful. But it is better to be by yourself than keeping a bunch of fake, useless people around you, okay? I know probably everything there is to know about friends. If I were to sit here and to actually go detail by detail on the type of people who you need to kind of reevaluate in your life, this is going to be a super long video. I'm telling you now, like, this going to be a movie. So I'm just going to name a few common people who a lot of y'all most likely deal with, and I just want you to just think about it. Take a few steps back and somebody dog loose, and he peed in the yard. Y'all, this is distracting me. Yeah, just don't come over here, baby. Anywho, so yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. The type of friendships you need to reevaluate. Okay, people who tend to kind of air out other people's business when they are mad at them. I had began to kind of pursue this friendship with a group of people, and for some reason, y'all, this is kind of distracting me too. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but we just we just gonna act like that on this. I had kind of started pursuing this friendship with a group of people. Well, at that time, I was beginning to become more wise. So, you know, my intuition, it was kind of telling me not to become too close and to just kind of take a step back and observe. So when I would be around them, I would tend to, you know, still kind of be to myself. Like, yes, I would engage in a conversation, laugh, do all of that, but I would spend most of my time being quiet and just observing. The key to kind of reevaluating people in your life is to observe, okay? Sometimes it is best to just be quiet and just listen. Listen to the things that people say, because that gives them away. And you don't want to end up meeting new people and you see all of these red flags, but you still, you know, choose to stay and pursue friendships. Then look at you. Then you end up being friends with them for years and they end up betraying you and you looking stupid when the red flags was there when you first met them. To continue my story, I had begun to pursue a friendship with a group of people. So I noticed that when I first met them, they kept trying to play a game called Never Have I Ever. Let me tell you something. I don't like that game, because to me, when you play that game, you could easily lie. And if you don't know what Never Have I Ever is, it's basically when you hold up 10 fingers and people ask if you did a certain thing in your life and you put your finger down if you did it. And to me, that's basically like telling your business. And no, I'm not with that at all. If I don't know you like that, you're not fitting on my business. And I started to spend a lot of my days and a lot of my time with them, and I noticed that this game just kept being brung up. Like, I know y'all probably doing it because y'all bored, but in a way, it's the game. To me, the purpose of the game is to be nosy, and I'm not really with that. So I would kind of sit back and observe doing this game rather than, you know, entertaining it. It was just rubbing me the wrong way. My intuition told me, like, Tanala, don't you even get too close, don't you share none of your business. So I listened. 2 weeks later, ended up being a bit falling out. A few of the people inside of the group began to tell other people's business, and I feel like it should have never been taken. If you want to argue with somebody about something, only argue about that subject. Only argue about that thing that, you know, you're supposed to be arguing about. Don't get to telling each other's personal business. You know, I don't deal with people like that. That makes me, you know, lose my trust for you, because if you could do it to them, you could do it to me as well. But trust me, that is not my only story with dealing with something like this. I have dealt with it multiple times. That's kind of why I don't hang with groups of people, because 9 times out of 10, there is going to be a big falling out. Everyone inside of that group is not going to be mature enough to just talk things out like an adult. They will 9 times out of 10 begin to air out personal business to defend themselves. So if you have any type of friendship and you notice that that person like to hit below the belt every time y'all argue and start airing out personal business, cut it off, okay? I don't know why I snapped, but cut it off. Next, be careful with hanging around multiple people and having all of these large friend groups, okay? I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with being in a friend groups. I'm not saying that at all. But I know that a lot of young people nowadays, they tend to be associating themselves in different friend groups, like more than one friend group. Let me tell you something. I don't too much do the friend group thing anyway. Okay, there's just too much going on, too many different energies colliding. I just can't do it. I know a lot of you may have those different friend groups for different things. You know, you may have those hardworking friends who, you know, just about their business and their money, and you may have those other friends who just like to party. Let me tell you something. The minute you choose not to do the same things that friend group usually does, you're gonna have a falling out. Or even if it's not a falling out, they're not gonna like it and they're basically gonna vanish. So this has happened to me multiple times as well. You know, I had been associating myself with these different friend groups. Of course, one of the friend groups were just friends that I would party with. The moment when I stopped kind of associating myself with parties and, you know, kind of telling them like, hey, that's not really my wave like that, or I don't too much want to go out, would rather stay in, seemed like they vanished. Like, yes, it's okay for them to, you know, go ahead and go party without me, but I noticed that those weren't really friendships. It's like I couldn't really hold any real conversation with them. And the only time we would hang out was when we was, you know, getting ready to go to a party. It wasn't nothing on a daily basis. It wasn't nothing where, you know, they could just come over and study with me or just watch a movie. It was none of that. It was nothing but partying. So I had to take a step back and realize like, these, you know, aren't really friends. Like, yes, these are cool people, but they're more of acquaintances. So kind of watch how you use the friend term. Another thing, most of the time, party friends are not actual friends, okay? If you are gonna have party friends, that's completely fine. Just go to parties with them. I would not advise you to start, you know, telling your personal business, because guess what? Once you fall out with them or once you stop going to the party, y'all see that? A little particle of something falling down. Anywho, as I was saying, it seems as if soon as you stop going to those parties with them, you know, they're gonna end up airing out your business or talking bad about you. Okay, next. To me, a friendship is also someone who supports me and vice versa. Kind of sit back and ask yourself, do my friends really support me? I'm talking about support as in going above and beyond to support you without you having to ask. And even if they don't, you know, too much promote it, they support you behind closed doors. You know, such as pushing you whenever you may be feeling like giving up, giving you ideas, being a listening ear when it comes to your business or whatever it is you have going on. That is support. And I was surrounding myself around so many people, I also realized that a lot of them was not really supporting me. Whenever I would bring up my channel or bring up these different ideas, they would get quiet or just completely change the subject. They wasn't really, you know, supporting it how I thought they would. So yeah, I kind of take a step back and think like, are all of these people that I really have around me genuinely supporting me? Okay, next. This is the good one. Do you really have friends who you can actually have a real conversation with? I'm talking about a real bond and friends who you don't just sit there and gossip with or talk about social media stuff with, or friends you just don't party with, friends who just don't sit there and just be in drama and talk about drama all the time. Do you actually have friends who you can have real conversations with? I'm talking about having conversations about real world things, talking about your future, what you both plan to do in the future, talking about how you're gonna work towards those goals that you may have. Maybe it's giving each other advice. It's so many things out there that you can talk about other than gossip, okay? Okay, next. Make sure you don't have certain friends who only talk to you when it's beneficial. Friends who only talk to you when they need advice. Friends who only talk to you when they need something, when they need money, when they need a ride. I know it's a lot of y'all out there who is dealing with that. If someone is only talking to you when it's beneficial to them and they can't, you know, just reach out to you to have a regular conversation and to just check up on you, they're only talking to you when it's beneficial, okay? They're using you. That's not a friend. Or even people who only reach out to you when they need you to fight a battle for them. If they probably in a little situation arguing with somebody, that's not a friend. They're using you. Okay? Cut it off. Next, be careful with being close with people who are close with everybody else. Okay, so say there's someone who you know, and it's kind of like they are close with literally everybody. Okay? It's okay to be, well known, but it kind of becomes a problem when it's like they are literally close with every single person. Okay, to me that's a problem, because if you're close with every single person, that means you know everybody's business. Usually people who are close with everybody and who knows everybody's business, they're telling everybody's business. Trust me, I know. So be careful with that. If you have that friend who is literally close with everybody and who's friends with everybody, watch it, okay? It's different if that person know how to keep secrets and they don't, spread out other people's business. But 9 times out of 10, they spreading it. And 9 times out of 10, people who are hanging in these different friend groups, they are a completely different person around them, okay? They can act a certain way around you, and when they get around those other people, they act like a completely different person. And it's kind of hard to pursue all of these different friend groups anyway, because first of all, everyone is not going to mess with your vibe. Everyone is not going to like your vibe. Everyone is not going to like you. So if you have all of these different friend groups, 9 times out of 10, you kind of switching up your personality and you're not being your complete self around everybody. Like when I used to be the type to associate myself with these different friend groups, I'm not gonna lie, I used to find myself kind of changing. I was not my complete self with everybody. And another thing I forgot to add, be really careful about being in these large friend groups, because most of the time they tend to have a lot of falling out and just be in a lot of drama. And once they're in drama, your name is attached to that. Oh, and this is one more thing. I just literally thought about this. Make sure you don't have friends who you may, argue with from time to time and they go to social media about it. That's not cool. If you have a disagreement, a falling out, or argument with a friend, it should never hit social media. I don't care if it's just a subliminal post and no one else knows that the post is about you except for you. It's not right. If you have a falling out with a friend and they go on social media and say something negative and you know it's about you, or if they kind of direct it towards you, go on ahead and cut it off. That's not a friend. And you know what? One more thing. Got my brain on a roll today. If you have that friend who continuously go on social media, like you'll probably, just now finished hanging out with them a couple of hours ago, and they literally get on social media and start saying that they don't have any friends. I honestly never knew what that was about. I never understood that. It's kind of like they aren't claiming you as a friend, but you're claiming them, and they kind of, isn't appreciating all that you have done for them, and they aren't really acknowledging everything. So that's not right. So that's kind of another red flag too. Do not hold on to a friendship just because you have known them for years, or just because you don't want to be lonely. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to think about yourself. You don't need nobody but yourself. So that's all I have to say as of now. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment below and be sure to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.